Hello, flower friends. This is Jen, and you are listening to the Floral Hustle podcast. Today, I want to talk about I've seen this funny reel. It's like I girl boss too hard, and now I have a real job. And like the whole vibe that gives me is that I have worked really hard, but I've created a business that I don't love, and they feel stuck. So if you do that, and I've girl bossed too hard many times in my life, what do? How do you reset that? How do you get your way out of literally the muck? And I think that there's several ways to start. Obviously, you need to, for one, figure out what is in alignment with you and what you can unravel, and literally what you can stop doing and stop saying yes to, because that is part of the problem. You're saying yes to too much. You're thinking, I'm guessing a lot of when people have girl boss too hard, I know this is definitely me as well, is because I felt I just needed to achieve more. I can achieve all these great things. Why don't I do that? Well, what happens is you become burnt out. You feel like you're stuck in doing all of the things that aren't fun. And because you've created this bigger business that requires bigger paperwork, bigger payroll, bigger responsibilities, bigger everything. So everything then falls to you to figure out and make sure that it's managed. So part one, how do you ungirl boss a level that you have gone to that doesn't serve you? If you genuinely don't want what you have created, how do you want to do it? I think one, making, if you are a wedding and event florist, we are full for 2023 wedding season. That is a start. Making that announcement is going to make you feel so much lighter, so much more in control, because if you get an email, you already know how to react to it. If you get communication, you already know how to react from a planner, from whatever. So that part there would be a big step in just saying, we're full for 2023 wedding season. Thank you so much for everybody that supported us. But then step two is literally figuring out and defining, because you're going to start getting 2024 inquiries. What do you want 2024 to look like and feel like? And really dig out of that. Then you need to start feeling into what things literally don't feel good that you're currently doing that don't need to be done. So if you are taking on a weekly church arrangement or a weekly flower arrangement, and literally the person is difficult to deal with, or you don't feel like you're being compensated enough, you need to identify what doesn't feel good in your life and try to make changes. And those changes might be stopping doing it. And you are the CEO of your business and fully allowed to do that. You can make those decisions, not somebody else. And I think that when we get to this point, we often feel disempowered. Stop feeling disempowered. You are the CEO. You can make all these big, bold, beautiful decisions and not have to fear what is going to happen, because you're living in a point of fear, because you're living in a point of not being happy, and you're fearing what's coming next. And we need to undo that. So this also could be if you have a very difficult client, and every time you see their email pop in my contract, it says that both of us have the right to terminate the contract. If somebody is an epic pain in the ass, you dread communication with them. There's this sunken cost bias that especially comes into play with these clients. Get rid of them. You don't need that business so much that it's ruining your life. They can find another florist to harass. That's not you. And that's a really hard thing to even think about doing, because you probably get this icky feeling in your gut. But would you rather live like this? That you live in fear every time their name comes up? So make decisions to move past them. It will be, a hard move in the beginning. Hey, you know what? some things came up that we're no longer to be being able to fully serve your event. We really appreciate working with you this far, but I'm sorry we can't move forward to pull your event off at a level that we have expectations of our own business, etc. Whatever you want to say, then you can say, I'm refunding your deposit. You can't keep their deposit if you're canceling them. We're refunding your deposit. And here are 3 other florists that I would recommend reaching out to. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I know this is hard, but literally a lot of things have changed in our business, and we just want to make sure that you're completely taken care of. Hard email to send, but you're going to feel so much better afterwards. So much better. Then you need to look at all the other things. Like, what is happening that you're hating, that doesn't feel good, that financially is draining? I would do a expense audit at this time to really dig into, like, if things are feeling hard, financially, they might be feeling hard too. So how can you undo that? Then you've looked at expenses, and maybe you need to cancel things. Maybe you need to scale back with the number of employees you have. Maybe you need to scale back with the number of freelancers. I literally went through this like probably 5-6 years ago, that I was like, I'm spending a lot of money on freelancers, and so I need to do a little bit more myself. And I had someone that worked for me that, like, I had a really good relationship with, but I felt like negative energy every time they came. And I felt like the flowers were never good enough for them. I just felt like I felt stress every time they came over, even though I really loved them, because that's just how they are in general in their life. And so, like, I decided, as part of that strategic move, I did another big strategic move of taking that negativity out of my life and moving forward with, this completely renewed energy in my business, because I got rid of that. So you can take this time to also do hard things that might necessarily feel good, but you're going to feel good afterwards. Like, I felt so good that first season, especially because all that was gone. Then, what if you have some things on your plate that you feel like you can't clear them off? Have you ever had that? You're just like, you feel obligation, or like you have to do these things that just don't feel good. And it's not like the client's a pain in the butt, but maybe it's something you don't enjoy doing. Like, this time is a time to do a complete reboot of everything. Like, dream what you want your business to be and get rid of anything that feels icky. It's better to take all the Band-Aids off a big cut at one time and then to individually peel Band-Aids off. Like, you want a fresh start, a renewed sense of purpose in your business, and that's how to do it. Rip all the Band-Aids off. Look at all the pieces in your business that aren't working. If you're having a hard time with one part of it, and you're like, I don't even know how to approach this, send me a DM. I'd love to talk through it, because I have made tons of difficult decisions in my business in these 20-some years when I was in corporate. So I get it. And hopefully maybe I can let a little insight of how I would do it. Even like difficult customers. I've had so many flower friends, because, like, responding to, for one, people being stupid. So many people just act stupid in their emails, or just are not kind, or just maybe aren't, like, considerate that we are service providers, and, like, them sending you 50 million emails or not showing up for appointments and things like that. Like, they'll send me, how would you respond to this without being a dick? And I usually strategically, like, make it sound really nice, but I'm kind of being a dick because they were being a dick to me. But it sounds just really fluffy, like fluffy clouds responding to your stupidity. And so I've had a lot of those moments that sometimes it's just hard to think through for yourself on how to respond, because you're angry, and that email is coming from a place of anger instead of professionalism and, really, like, being in alignment with yourself. Then, what if you love where you're at, but you hate a lot of the components that are in it? What if you've girl bossed to the business of your dreams, but there's parts of it, or you feel overworked or heavy, but you still love it? Because that could also be a place. Things to just feel heavy because you have a lot on your plate. What do you do then? Identify the things that don't feel good and try to find somebody else to do them. I hate going into QuickBooks. It is not my jam at all. Not my jam to go into QuickBooks. But I can now, I identified that when I was on my tax call. I'm like, I'm not good at going into QuickBooks and checking all the boxes. I would rather somebody that's already seeing it, already gets it. I would rather them look at it and pay them. And they were like, oh, it's like $45 an hour. What? $45 an hour for you guys to do that? I was thinking it was like $150 an hour when I was thinking in my head, which I have no idea where I got that number from. I was like, yeah, I want you guys to do that. I don't want to have to go in there and look at it, except like maybe once a quarter. So I just made that decision. Like, this feels hard. It doesn't feel good in alignment with like the things that I like to do. I'm going to outsource it. Social media. I love showing up on social media, but I don't love scheduling it. I don't love making graphics. All those things don't sound fun to me. I would rather do another video for you guys or another podcast than make social media graphics. So like recently I've decided this wedding season, I don't want things to fall off the rails of moving forward in this business. And so I'm hiring someone to take care of the social media for this and my flower business. And we're going to go through with the strategy that I already do, but I'm just not going to be creating the graphics for it. I'm not going to be going and posting all the time manually for myself. We're going to start automating it. So that's something that didn't feel good. I love where my business is at, but that didn't feel good. I want to get rid of it. So I found someone, and for that investment that's going to cost me, it's worth it. So I am offsetting my time, my resources, my time with my kids, my time with my husband, with paying someone for 2 to 3 hours a week. And interesting, I put a graphic up in the Floral Hustle page and the Green Goddess Floral page, and I got like one response from both. I did an Instagram stories talking, just like recording it. I had 7 people respond. So it's weird because I was explaining like 2 to 3 hours, and I just thought, am I going to be able to find somebody that wants to invest 2 to 3 hours a week? Because that's not a lot. And I had that many people. So whatever you're looking for, you might be able to find it. You never know. So go and decide, like, what doesn't feel good? If you like where your business is at, what doesn't feel good? Because if something doesn't feel good, then there's missing pieces or like a spot that's just missing to make you really just love your business. How can you remove those so that literally you're completely in alignment in your business and you can feel the joy and the happiness because there aren't things that are weighing you down? And making those decisions before wedding season gets busy. I mean, wedding season starts in May here and goes till October. So can you make those decisions before that happens? Because then great things are going to be happening for you, and you're going to like feel freer, and maybe that will make you more revenue, because when you feel weighed down, I feel like your revenue is weighed down commensurate to that. So how can you lighten your load to feel completely aligned in your business? How can you feel like I have the business of my dreams? Because you deserve that. And if you are girl bossing too much, and you are, just stop it. Like, you don't have anything to prove. And if you need to start saying to yourself, a lot of times, I think that we're fearing the failure. We're fearing judgment. So that's making us work even harder to avoid those pains. And you're not a failure. You are doing big and bold and brave things by owning your own business. So many people are punching a clock, and you are doing this amazing thing of owning your own business. Like, that is a win. Just you taking action to own your own business is this huge win. But you need to make sure that feels in alignment, that it feels good. Because if you own a business and it feels like shit, then you're not winning. You might as well go be punching a clock, because you might not feel like shit going to punch a clock because you don't have all that stress. So make that choice. Like, what would feel good? What feels in alignment with you, with your business, with your life? Look at everything together because that's what makes a complete picture and a whole life, like how everything intertwines together. But you don't need to keep trying to achieve. Who cares about what anybody else thinks but you? I'm teaching that to my daughter now because she's like, the other day I about slipped my lip because she said her eyebrows were thick, especially compared to mine. I'm like, honey, it's because mommy plucks hers or gets threaded. And she's like looking at me. I was like, who said something about your eyebrows? Because like, I don't want her feeling that judgment. I was like, you are beautiful. And so then we did our I am affirmations. I am beautiful. I am brave. And you are all those same things. And so you need to be speaking to yourself like that, not speaking to yourself with all this crap because you don't feel in alignment right now. So get in alignment, make big moves, take action to make the life that you want happen because you're the one that's going to make it happen, not somebody else. Thank you so much for listening, flower friend. I so appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing flower week.